Hey, I'm Frederick Hall, inventor of TopLift Pros, and we're here today to show you exactly what you're going to need to start out with your assembly process of your TopLift Pro. So with that, let's get together, and first we're going to need a set of wrenches. We're going to need a 17, a 13, and a 10 millimeter wrench, followed by a set of socket heads, which I would use the impact drill, which is followed with a 3/8 driver. So we're going to need an 8, a 6, and a 5. And then, most important, your manual. Just read through it just a little bit, go over, at least look at the pictures, just to have a greater understanding what's going on, and then defines what you can see visually and when it's being put together. And then we have a bolt pack. Your bolt pack, this is all your bolts that you're going to need required, which isn't many, and it's basically a lot of similar sizes. There's one size that's different, okay? And then we have your end caps. These are all the end caps that you will need to put your TopLift Pro together. The end caps that are in the unit when you receive it are there to protect the ends. And so these will replace it, and if you have extras, that's great too. It has your D-rings, and then we have your T-connectors, 6 T-connectors. Remember, don't over tighten them, snug them down pretty good. You don't have to really put a lot of force into them, just make them snug. Then followed up with all your casters. You have 4 casters, 2 with brake, 2 without brake. And we'll start assembly. So we're gonna start the assembly, and we're gonna start at the base first. So with the base, what we're gonna need is, you have been given 2 what we call Y-frames, and then we also have 2 halves, horseshoes. So we're going to put these all together right now, and we're going to go step by step on all this. First of all, let's put the T-connectors, and we're going to mount these onto the Y-frames. Very important, so we don't forget. Number 1, this one fits into and slips all the way up. 2, 3. Okay? Then we do the same on number 2. And we'll slip this on. And we'll slip this on. Okay. So next, what we're going to do is we need the horseshoes. So let's grab one horseshoe. We want to mount this like here. We're going to take this like so. And we're just going to set this in place. Alright, so next what we'll do is, just to keep this in place with your horseshoe, let's go ahead and tighten up and make sure that this bend is matched up with this bend. So let's just tighten this up just a little bit. And there's dimples right in here. You can go right on the edge of the dimple. So, and doesn't have to be real tight. Make sure that's down. And then what we're going to do, we have 8-inch inserts. These 8-inch inserts are going to be joining together our 2 horseshoes. So what we'll do next is we'll install these, bolt up one side, then we'll install the other side of the horseshoe. So now that we got our 2 halves joined up with a Y to the horseshoe, okay, we're going to join these 2 halves together. Take your 8-inch install, and we're going to put a bolt through. And then a nut. Same on the back side. And then what we do is we just feed it into the other. All right, before we bolt these up, we just want to put the cross member in first. So simply take this, stick that all the way in, roll it around, put it up there, and it snaps into place. Voila. So now we're going to tighten one side up, and we're going to leave it a little space here so that just pull it away from here just a little bit and tighten this up, but leave this side alone. Do not tighten one side up. That way, when you put your top portion on, you'll have the correct spacing after it's on. Then you can tighten it, and we'll get to that point in just a minute. So now we're going to tighten up your two halves together. So let's get on that. So now let's put our inserts in. We're going to need a D-ring for each side and an insert for each side. So 3 holes go up, 2 holes go down. Go to the second hole and just put your D-ring in. Go to the second hole, put your D-ring in. And now what we're going to do is we're going to take this off the table, which sometimes you may not have a table and you may be assembling this on the floor. So we're going to take this and put it on its back on the floor to put the casters on, and that'll make life easy for you. All right, so we're going to put the casters on. We put it on its back because that makes just life real easy for you. So we're going to start with the caster with a brake. I put the caster with a brake up what I call the front. Now you may want to put the caster with a brake in the back. It's just harder to kick it when you put it in the back. So up front, it's just real easy. Your kick down for the brake is simple to get to. So anyways, let's get started with that. We're just going to put one through. One. Here. And we're going to repeat this process on all other 3 casters. So we're going to use 6mm and a 13mm open end. Just going to put it on there. And we're going to zap these down tight.